Okay, here we are in my wheelhouse. Now, I know that I am the trainer that talks politics. I get it. I understand. That's what people email, tell me, call me, and other people that know me, third and fourth parties removed, will also say this about me. It's just fine. But every now and again, there are some fitness topics that come up. And so, here we are with one of those fitness topics. And it concerns an influencer from online who is a Rubenesque lady. In her late 20s, she's a little bit over her ideal weight, and evidently, pull her up for a second. Okay, so she's a little chubby. She's a little on the over ideal side in terms. Just makes her a health risk. It also makes her somebody who is more likely susceptible to being care insurance, which is why we pay more premiums. Evidently, she had a little bit of a problem on an airplane. So, let's roll that footage.
While making comments about my size. Even when I told her I really needed the chair and needed her to let me sit down in it, she blatantly ignored me and kept walking. I was then forced to walk up one of the longest jet bridges I've encountered, and she didn't stop. By the time she let me reach the wheelchair and sit down, my lips were white. My oxygen levels had dropped and I almost fainted. This was my first time flying without oxygen. This woman just assumed I could walk and would rather me wheel their passengers up the jet bridge, but my needs were disregarded. This is discrimination. Nobody should be treated this way. Share your story.
I love the sad little violin music score in the background. That's my favorite. But did you listen to this video? Did you listen to her? At no point in the video does she come out with her own personal responsibility. This is the problem with our society. It's a lack of personal accountability. She didn't even sound one bit in the least concerned that she couldn't walk the jetway and onto the plane without her oxygen. Oh, I could barely, my lips were white. I could barely take a breath. You're in your 20s. You don't think this is a problem? And you're blaming the rest of us for fat shaming you? Or for the fact that you want to buy 2 seats on an airplane or something like that? It's totally ridiculous. Nothing in that video about her saying, I really have to get a hold of myself and see a dietitian or a weight loss expert or perhaps even a bariatric surgeon, even if it comes to that. There's nothing wrong with that after you've tried every little thing you could possibly try. If it has to come to that to save your life, why not? But these are the people why we pay high insurance premiums. Because this gal who's dipping into Duck Donuts and Burger King, or McDonald's. I don't want to throw Burger King under the bus like they're the villain. But she's clearly not controlling herself, and it could be understood. There's eating is an extension of feelings, depression, anxiety, other body image issues, personal confidence problems, unresolved childhood issues, all these various different things. And you medicate yourself no different than somebody who drinks or does drugs or the like. So understood, it's a problem. And who is the people that have created this problem? Well, people like Oprah Winfrey, who got into the Weight Watchers world, and she doesn't know the first thing about it. She knows how to watch weight go up. She certainly doesn't. She shouldn't be the proponent of somebody trying to help the diet industry. She's not helping the diet industry. She's the worst example of somebody in the diet industry. And she has since come out to say, perhaps, and I can respect it to that end, I don't belong in the diet industry speaking out an advocate for it, because she is the worst example of dieting, period. She is why Weight Watchers has lifetime programs. And so some doctor came out to speak of this, and we're going to just roll that little clip on this doctor's perspective about Weight Watchers and Oprah, and we're going to come back and opine in a moment. So let's roll the footage.
Dr. Janice Back has a lot to say today. Oprah Winfrey apologizing for being a major contributor to diet culture. There's been a lot of talk about these prescription medications to help with weight loss.
Yep. There's also Kelly Clarkson is in the headlines today, taking a lot of backlash because she didn't fully disclose what medication she was on to help her lose a significant amount of weight. And I am fascinated by this. As an obesity medicine board certified physician, I will tell you that I think this judgment, this vitriol, this fat shaming, this attacking, the criticism, the nastiness, it has to stop. We have to understand that where we are today in the world of obesity medicine and weight management is not the same as the Jane Fonda era 40 years ago, where you can just exercise your way to a healthier weight. You could eat all the carrot sticks on the planet and walk 1,000,000 steps, and if you are overweight or obese, you are still going to struggle with weight because we know it's a complex disorder and disease. I think where we are in terms of these medications is truly life-saving for the planet and all of the people who are dealing with the conditions of overweight and obesity, because now that there is a number of FDA-approved weight loss medications, we see that if there's a treatment for it, it should be looked at as a medical condition and disorder. Can you imagine if we were having this conversation with mental illness and depression? Would someone be attacking someone for saying they're taking medication to manage their mental illness? I don't think so.
And it's just not anybody's business what medicine a person takes.
I mean, stay in your lane. Yeah, that's a big one. But yes, these need to be more affordable, more accessible for everyone. We're not there yet, but I think it has to start with backing off the attacks of people who are trying to do the best thing for their health.
So I'm not going to attack her perspective and point of view. She's obviously doing it a long time, and that's fine. And nobody should be attacked because we're all fighting our own personal battles. That's fine. You know, when I deal with a lot of people in weight management issues and they are overweight or they're obese, sometimes there are metabolic and physiological issues that are related to that. Sometimes there's hormone issues related to that. Granted, absolutely no problem with that whatsoever. But generally speaking, more than often, the problem is usually the person themselves. They are not disciplined. They lack a discipline. Okay, they don't have the discipline. They don't want to put in the hard work. They don't want to suffer. They don't want to sacrifice. They're not determined enough to put in the work necessary to get to a more ideal weight. So that becomes, a problem of mentality. And we live in a society that is a self-gratifying, or immediate gratification society. That people, they want things right now. Okay, they want to lose weight. That's why all these diet scams work. Lose 5 pounds in 7 days. You lose 30 pounds in 30 days. It's all nonsense, myth and misconception. I've been talking about that for years and years and years. So the dieting culture itself lends itself to not necessarily helping people. And I'm sure that's why Weight Watchers is lifetime members, for crying out loud. I had arguments with Weight Watchers years ago about this. Because even though everything is a point system and you're trying to back it into some kind of logic regarding calories in, calories out, 100%, you can't just get all of your points at the end of the day and expect to lose weight. And some of the things that are in the Weight Watchers systems are things that any advanced athlete would never practice in terms of weight management or weight loss to prepare for a competitive athletic event. Period. So let's go into another report on Oprah and let's opine about what we see based on this other report. I don't know if it's Inside Edition, whatever. Bring it up. Let's go.
Oprah Winfrey says she feels partly responsible for what she calls the nation's toxic diet culture, thanks to the countless weight loss specials she did on her TV show. And one of her biggest regrets, she says, was that now iconic moment when she wheeled out a wagon of fat.
It's an extraordinary expression of regret from Oprah.
I want to acknowledge that I have been a steadfast participant in this diet culture. Through my platforms, through the magazine, through the talk show for 25 years, through online. I've been a major contributor to it.
She says she's now owning her part in creating a toxic diet culture through her yo-yoing weight over the years.
The big revelation for me, the big aha, the bing, bing, bang, 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 bang moment has been recognizing once and for all that obesity is a disease.
Oprah says she's still embarrassed about that legendary TV moment when she wheeled out 67 pounds of fat on a little red wagon way back in 1988.
I've shared how that famous wagon of fat moment on the Oprah show is one of my biggest regrets. It sent a message that starving yourself with a liquid diet set a standard for people watching that I nor anybody else could uphold.
In December, the media mogul acknowledged she has been taking a weight loss drug. She dropped 40 pounds and quit the board of Weight Watchers. Last night, she hosted a 3-hour YouTube special with Weight Watchers. Oprah now says it's time to take away the shame.
We've been told that unless we meet a certain standard of size, that we didn't deserve to be accepted or even to be loved. And what I know for sure is that I am done with it.
You know what you need to be done with doing, Big O? You need to be done having an opinion on this subject, because you suck at losing weight. Now, I have plenty of people currently right now that use diabetic management tools, vis-a-vis metformin. Ozempic is now something that people are using, for weight loss, sugar management, and the like. And truth be told, I have some people that are losing as much weight as one would lose if they just exercised and managed what they ate. But in most cases, again, people lack the discipline, the emotional discipline, the psychological discipline. And they, as much as I complain to some people, you need to get on the elliptical, the art trainer. You need to go walk. You need to get on the treadmill. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, by way of the American Heart Association, they say this. This is just for heart health. This is not even for weight loss and management. But you need to be working out at 8 or 10 or 12 calories per minute for 30 minutes, and also instituting a deficit in terms of caloric intake proportional to what your weight is, so that the deficit plus the expenditure will lead to a meaningful augmentation in your weight, meaning weight loss. But people don't want to do that. And all these diet centers and all the trainers, as I was speaking to last week or the week before, with respect to all of the availability that there is in terms of weight loss centers vis-a-vis fitness centers, 45-minute circuit centers. In our area, there's 17 or 18 of them. I just saw another one opening up down the road from us. Another one. We are heavier than ever. We're more obese than ever. We have more people become diabetics more than ever. We have people, and one in 5 people die from coronary artery disease, largely due to, in fact, more than likely, notwithstanding their genetics, dietary practices. We don't need Oprah helping us out in this arena. So Oprah, step to the side, take your big ass and walk it over to the side, and let the rest of us that know how to help people help them. And anybody who might be suffering that is overweight, over ideal weight, obese, they were always loved. They weren't dismissed. Okay? Mind you, I would be, truth be told, fibbing to say I didn't see somebody and think to myself, yeah, you know what? You sat 30 minutes getting your manicure or an hour getting your manicure pedicure, but you couldn't find your way into the gym. Yeah, I think that. I admit I think that. But there's a lot of people that are overweight or obese. And if you look at pictures from the 60s, 70s, and 80s and such of people on the beach, virtually no one is overweight. Why? Because we were a society that moved. We were a society that put in hard work, effort, energy, and discipline. We weren't the society of people that want immediate gratification and had no ability to concentrate. It is a systemic problem of behavior in society. and I don't care how many weight loss centers open or diet centers open, nothing will change until we get back to realizing that hard work, effort, energy, discipline, suffering, sacrifice, determination is the only medication to an unhealthy society and the ongoing advancement of not only our mental health, but our improved physical well-being.